I'm Verity from Motorcycle Law Queensland. I'm a lawyer, I'm a rider, and today I'm telling you what you should do if you're involved in an accident in Queensland or New South Wales. The very first thing you should do if you're involved in an accident is secure the scene to make it as safe as possible and notify emergency services. Safety comes first, so it's important to ensure that everyone is as safe as possible and that help is on its way if it's needed. Now, what if you don't think you need help? Do you have to tell emergency services? Well, you may still have to notify the police. In Queensland and New South Wales, a driver involved in a crash must notify police of the crash if a person is injured or killed in the crash, a vehicle involved in the crash is towed away, or a driver involved in the crash doesn't provide certain details like their name and address to other persons involved. So, you've secured the scene and alerted emergency services. What do you do next? Well, the next thing you should do, if it's safe to do so, is capture the evidence. Gathering evidence early is crucial. Evidence from the scene of the accident can be really valuable later on, especially if you find yourself pursuing or defending legal action. Even if you don't plan on taking any action, gather the evidence early just in case, as you can't always go back and get it later. So, what kind of evidence should you be getting? Firstly, try to get the registration number of any other vehicle involved in the accident. You could simply write it down or take a photograph of the registration plate or just ask the other driver. Any driver involved in the crash must provide this information to other persons involved. Secondly, try to get the details of any other driver involved in the accident. You might want to try to get their name, address, contact details, and even a license number. At the very least, a driver involved in an accident must provide their name and address to other persons involved. But if you can try to get some extra details, that's always helpful. Thirdly, if a driver of a vehicle involved isn't the owner of that vehicle, try to get the details of the owner of that vehicle. Any driver involved in a crash who isn't the owner of the vehicle they were driving must provide the name and address of the owner of that vehicle to any other person involved in the accident. Fourthly, try to get some details of any person who witnessed the accident. A witness could be someone that was driving by, a pedestrian, or a nearby business or resident. If you see a witness, try to get their details straight away, as once they leave the scene, you might never be able to find them again. Now, you don't need to take a full statement from a witness at the scene of the accident, but if you can try to get their contact details, then at least you have a way of getting in touch with them if you do end up needing some more information later down the track. Next up, try to get some photographs of the vehicles involved in the accident. If you can get some photographs of both your vehicle and any other vehicle involved from a few different angles, it can tell us lots of things later on, like the speeds, directions, and forces involved in the impact. The last type of evidence to get is photographs of the accident location. If you can try to get some photographs of where the accident started or really happened, as well as where it ended or where the vehicles ended up, that can be really useful to tell us how the accident happened later on. And that can reduce the risk of ambiguity or he said, she said later down the track. The next thing you should do is contact a lawyer. A lawyer can tell you if there's anything else you need to do. A lawyer can also tell you if you have any entitlements or whether you're at risk of someone taking action against you. Or at the very least, a lawyer can tell you that you've done everything that you need to do and give you that peace of mind. So let's do a recap. If you're involved in an accident in Queensland or New South Wales, you should secure the scene to make it as safe as possible, alert emergency services if required, capture the evidence, and contact a lawyer. If you need legal assistance or you just have a legal question, feel free to get in touch with Motorcycle Law Queensland. You can also go ahead and check out our Facebook page where we provide stacks of free information for the motorcycling community. We're lawyers, we're riders, and we're always happy to help a fellow rider. I hope you found this video helpful. Ride safe.